It's the most wonderful time of the year. For classic holiday movies, we give you a choice of the Muppets.
It's Ebenezer Scrooge!
Oh, Will Ferrell.
Best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
Or a trip to the North Pole with Tom Hanks.
Well, you coming?
Happy holidays from Just Seen It.
Hi, I'm Liz.
I'm Sean.
I'm Kevin.
Everyone has a favorite holiday movie, and here at Just Seen It, we want to share with you some of ours. And we're joined today by guest critic Kevin Taft. If someone asked me what my favorite holiday movie was, I would say Last Holiday with Queen Latifah. But if someone asked me my second favorite holiday movie, it would be Elf, directed by Jon Favreau.
Really?
Yes.
I was thinking Silent Night, Deadly Night for you. Yeah.
Elf is about a little boy who climbs into Santa's bag of gifts at an orphanage that he visits. And this little boy grows up to be a very tall and bumbly Will Ferrell.
Why don't you just say it? I'm the worst toy maker in the world. I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins.
He starts to think, I don't belong here, right?
Yes, and so he goes and he seeks out his birth father, who turns out to be, I'm giving it away.
Sonny.
Yes, James Caan. And it's hilarious, it's very feel-good, and it doesn't pander or patronize kids, and it entertains adults.
And who else is in it?
Tyrion Lannister is in this movie, Peter Dinklage,
Right.
And we have Zooey Deschanel.
I like it because he mimicked the old Rankin Bass Christmas specials like Rudolph.
Right.
And all that. At the beginning, he
Yes.
used similar characters, so that kind of brought it back to stuff that I used to
You
watch
mean the
when I was
claymation?
younger. Yeah.
Also, what's great about Elf is that it's very self-aware. So Buddy the Elf ends up finding a job working with a department store Santa at Gimbel's. And Gimbel's is a reference to Miracle on 34th Street.
Macy's, right?
Yeah, it's Macy's, essentially.
Right.
And also, one of the elves is Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie in A Christmas Story. So it's just these little cute little in-jokes for Christmas movies.
What's this?
This is the North Pole.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Where's the snow?
Why are you smiling like that?
I just like to smile. Smiling's my favorite.
If I had any criticism about this film, it would be, why is a romantic subplot necessary in this film?
Because they want to appeal to adults, too.
I guess so.
and the
What's wrong
girls.
with romance?
Right.
The best scene in the movie is Zooey Deschanel singing in the shower. Because she's singing and also because she's in the shower.
I don't normally quote a lot of movies, like after I've watched the film, but I can quote Elf. By the Elf, what's your favorite color? That's a nice dress, it's very purpley. Francisco, that's fun to say, Francisco. I mean, there are a long list of things that you can reference. I mean, it's a great film and it's easily quotable.
I think we should call security.
Good idea.
I like to whisper, too.
Probably the most famous Christmas story that there is was written by Charles Dickens, and that was called Tale of Two Cities. No, it was called A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol has been adapted numerous times to the screen. You've had musical versions and cartoon versions, a comedy version called Scrooge with Bill Murray. But for sheer entertainment value, my pick for the holiday season, The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Because they're the Muppets.
It's The Muppets.
They're the best.
So, The Muppet Christmas Carol was the first Muppet movie released after the death of Jim Henson, unfortunately, and the movie's dedicated in his memory and also the memory of Richard Hunt, who was a puppeteer. Since Jim Henson passed away, someone had to take up the mantle of all his characters. And Steve Whitmire, who was a puppeteer, who first did Rizzo, he actually voices Kermit. He still does. He voiced him in the last movie written by Jason Segel, The Muppets. It was directed by Jim Henson's son, Brian Henson. Scrooge this time is not played by a Muppet, though. He's played by the great Michael Caine.
Which is hilarious because Michael Caine teaches acting and he always talks about gravitas and all these important things when you perform, and then you see him really committed to his performance with these Muppets.
Well, I think that's part of why the movie works. Michael Caine takes the role seriously. He gives a serious performance, and I think that really helps the heart of the story and brings the story to life in a real way. And then all the wit and the humor can just come from the Muppets.
If they'd rather die, then they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, dear.
You've got Kermit plays Bob Cratchit. Gonzo actually plays Charles Dickens. So they've got Charles Dickens as a character and a narrator in the story. Fozzie plays Fozziewig. You had Fezziwig in the old story, who's Scrooge's first employer, and here he plays Fozziewig, which is a very clever way to turn his name. Miss Piggy plays Mrs. Cratchit, Well, it's got songs by Paul Williams.
We're Marley and Marley, our hearts were painted black. We should have known our evil deeds would put us both in shackles.
But it's still a very charming movie. It's very entertaining, and it's worthwhile.
Thank you. Thank you. 50 times, and a Merry Christmas.
My choice for my favorite holiday movie that I watch every year is gonna give me a lot of flack, but I love The Polar Express.
Oh, I love The Polar
I've
Express.
never seen it.
That's a terrific
Do you?
movie. Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. It was released in 2004, and it was one of the first fully motion-captured animated films. It was directed by Robert Zemeckis, based on the novel by Chris Van Allsburg, who also did Jumanji.
Right.
The movie's about a little boy in the 50s in Michigan who is losing his belief in Santa Claus. And he goes to sleep one night on Christmas Eve and is awoken to the sound of a train coming down his suburban street.
Right.
So, of course, he goes outside, finds it's the Polar Express, and is invited to come on and go to the North Pole.
This is the only story, I think, where a train coming to town taking away little children is actually okay.
True. It was the 50s. Anything's good in the 50s.
Yeah.
It's fine. So he, meets some friends on the train. He has some adventures on the train until they get to the North Pole, and that's where he gets to meet Santa Claus, and he receives a gift.
This bell is a wonderful symbol of the spirit of Christmas, as am I. Just remember, the true spirit of Christmas lies in your heart.
So before he played 1,000 characters in Cloud Atlas, Tom Hanks actually played 6 characters in this film. He plays the train conductor, the narrator, the kid's father, Santa Claus, etc. And I think he does a great job. And I think all the actors actually did a good job because they had to play, the motion capture characters. The thing that I like most about it, there's 2 things actually, is that I really like the theme. As we get older, we kind of forget the magic of Christmas and the holiday season what we had when we were kids, and I think this reminds us to not lose that. But mostly, I think it's probably one of the most beautiful animated movies I think I've ever seen. There's a sequence where they all have to get tickets to get on the train, and the little girl loses her ticket, and it flies out the window, and then we actually follow the ticket around the train, under the train, over the train, then it's up in the mountains, and it's getting grabbed by hawks and eagles and by wolves. It's just a fantastic sequence. The one thing I would have to criticize about the movie is that the humans do look a little strange. They've been criticized as having dead eyes, looking like zombies, and their arms look a little too long. But something I can forgive when the rest of it's so pretty.
I am the king of the North Pole!
Elf is very sweet, so I say see it.
A Christmas Carol is a classic Christmas story, and there's no more entertaining way to experience it than with the Muppets. So the Muppet Christmas Carol, I give it a see it.
Despite some creepy children, I would say The Polar Express is probably one of the most beautiful animated movies ever made, so I say see it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
And God bless us, everyone.
You like sugar, huh?
Is there sugar and syrup?
Yes.
Then yes.
I think you like this movie so much, we should get you some Elf help books.
Oh, God.